everyone, and welcome into First Things First. I'm Jenna Wolf. That's the Hall of Famer Chris Carter. That is Nick Wright. It is Monday. We got 2 games of the NBA Finals in the book.
Yep.
We are well on our way towards...
We might be halfway done with them. I hope we're not, but we might be halfway done with them.
All right. Good weekend?
Great weekend.
What?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Great weekend, fun, good golf tournament to watch, good basketball to watch.
Every day's a holiday in my life.
There you go.
So positive.
What a great outlook.
Breath of positivity, CC.
What a big whopper lie.
Hey, how did the Cavs and Warriors follow up an insane Game 1 of the NBA Finals? Yes, with Game 2, but it wouldn't be as dramatic, and the Warriors made sure it wouldn't be as close. While LeBron followed up his 51-point performance with a modest 29, Steph Curry carried the Warriors 33 points, including 9 three-pointers. That is an NBA Finals record. And get this, under Steve Kerr, they're 109-8, 109-8 in the playoffs and regular season when Steph scores 30 or more. Again, under Steve Kerr. More now from people who aren't me.
I wouldn't necessarily say surprise. He's a big shot taker, big shot maker, tough shot taker and tough shot maker. And he did that tonight. The one where he was falling away was, I wouldn't necessarily say surprised about that, but it's like, oh, man, he really got it going. But, we've seen this before, where he completely just takes the game over with his scoring ability. And, he did that tonight.
He was tremendous and, 9 threes and seemed to hit a big shot every time we needed one. But, yeah, he was fantastic.
So, CC, the Warriors look a little more like the Warriors that we've come to know over the course of the last couple years. How were they able to win Game 2 so convincingly last night?
Well, the first way is defensively, the Cavs couldn't figure them out, especially early. Too many layups, too many dunks at the rim. The Warriors didn't have to depend on their great shooting early. They were getting everything they wanted as far as layups. The inability to build a switch defenses for the Cavs was a problem. And the lack of support for LeBron James continues as we see this series go on. LeBron, I thought that he would have to come back from 50 points. So he was a distributor in the game. He was effective offensively, but the concentration of Warriors, what they were going to do in the lane, they wouldn't let LeBron ISO. They did a lot. They took a page out of Boston's book from Brad Stevens, where when LeBron had the ball, if they weren't in the high pick and roll, there was at least 3 guys in the lane, and the other guy was close to the lane. So these were the things that the Warriors made adjustments when you're in series like that. That's what you see teams do from Game 1 to 2. They knew they got away and stole game number 1. But I thought they would come out more focused in game number 2 with an intensity defensively that the Cavs had in game number 1, the Warriors had in game number 2, which led to the victory, Nick.
Well, and I know we're going to talk a ton about Steph, but I want to add to the defensive point because the Warriors in game 2, they were trapping LeBron when they could. They were doubling him near half court at times when they could. And the only quarter all game the Cavs actually won was the quarter the Warriors have won this whole postseason, the third quarter. Why was that the one quarter the Cavs won? Because that was the one quarter when LeBron was trapped, when LeBron was doubled, and he found the open man repeatedly. Those guys were either hitting the shots LeBron created or making the extra pass to an open three-point shooter. The Cavs hit 9 three-pointers in this game. They hit 5 of them in that third quarter. It's a smart game plan by the Warriors. LeBron still almost got 30, but they basically said, we are going to spend our entire defensive effort on containing you and see if JR can hit shots. See if George Hill can hit shots. See if anyone other than Kevin Love can hit shots.
Wait, they didn't do that in Game 1?
Game 1, they weren't doubling him near half court.
No.
They weren't trapping him. They were playing him more straight up. They let Kevin Durant guard him one-on-one, which is what Durant did in last year's finals. They let Draymond have chances at him. And last year, of course, they had Iguodala. They didn't have that in Game 1. But no, they changed the way they guarded LeBron, which made LeBron more of a distributor. He got the 13 assists. He could have had 20. Guys missed shots. And so it's exactly what I would do if I were Golden State. I think it's smart. And then you have the fact that Steph erupted in the fourth quarter. Like, today's going to be the Steph day, and I understand that. It was the fourth quarter. Going into the fourth quarter, he was 6 of 18 with 17 points.
Yes.
And then he beat the brakes off the Cavs in the fourth quarter. Period, point blank. He was unconscious in the fourth. And Dre mentioned the shot with the shot clock winding down, which is a backbreaker. Oracle erupts. You feel like, oh, my God, we had a great defensive possession. Here's the thing. Yeah, there's some luck involved. Man, I've watched Steph Curry warm up. I've watched Steph Curry practice. He practices those situations. He has the coaches roll balls out to him at odd angles where he picks it up and just tosses it up. So, yeah, that is a lucky shot, but it is less lucky for Steph than any other player in the league. Like, there's some luck involved in any of those, but he practices that.
Yeah, it would have been lucky if the ball hit off the backboard at the top.
Sure.
All right? Hit off the shot clock and went in. But if you look at Steph's motion, he has that's his natural shooting motion. Like, that's what he's going to do. Great shooters, they make things happen. So, to me, it doesn't have much to do with luck.
Maybe luck's the wrong word.
Yeah, I'm going to change that from your vocabulary.
Okay, fair enough.
Because the higher level we talk about, less luck has to do with it.
My point is that's any shot you make at the end of the shot clock that's not what the offense wanted. That wasn't their plan going into that possession. But as far as
now, if he had made the one left-handed, the one they gave him the ball, where he tried to get a lean in the foul,
and they just said Warriors ball. But the point I was trying to give him credit there, like there is less luck involved in Steph making that shot than any other player in the league because he practices those shots because he is able to keep with his shooting form. And we saw once again, Jenna, there are two sounds Oracle makes: a regular Warriors run and a Steph Curry Warriors run. They love this guy, and he elevates that crowd and his team to a level unlike any of his teams.
Did it feel like the Warriors were a little more balanced in this game than in the last couple games we saw where they needed a breakout quarter to either get back in or to take this game? Did it feel like, or did they not get what the Cavs probably wanted to put out there? Obviously, they struggled defensively.
Well, the Warriors knew exactly what they wanted to do. They knew that they were going to slip on the pick and roll. Offensively, they knew they were going to slip the pick and roll and try to get as many buckets at the hoop early. That's what they were able to do. Kevin Durant said before the game, he took some bad shots in game number one, said he's going to be more selective, and you saw that with him. Clay was typically doing what Clay did. When they needed a bucket, he went on a couple little runs there to give them a little boost before Steph got hot, because if people aren't careful, you'll think that, man, Steph was like LeBron in game number one. He wasn't. He had a good fourth quarter, and his shooting percentage still was not a very good one. Right. But when you have the 9 threes in the game, I would say Steve Kerr and what they wanted to get offensively, they were able to get the type of looks that they wanted. And early in the game, it was so easy for them that all they needed was one of these players to catch fire, and that's what happened in the fourth with Steph.
And it was odd because the Cavs win that third quarter. They go into the fourth only down 7 after being down double digits at the half. And it never felt to me like the Cavs were ever in this basketball game. Like, right, I don't know if it felt like that to you. It felt to me like the Cavs were, and I should say they went in the fourth quarter down double digits. They got it down to 7 in the fourth quarter. It felt to me like the Warriors were in firm control the entire game. And the person who put them in control was Kevin Durant. Durant was extraordinary through 3 quarters. He was doing exactly what Golden State's asked him to do. High efficiency shots. He shot 70% from the game. Rebound and assist. Remember those 3 games against Houston where he had a combined 1 assist? He had 7 last night. Durant was excellent quarters 1 through 3, and then Steph was absolutely transcendent in the fourth. That's how you get the blowout victory.
I think the question we all want to know is how the Cavs would respond after what happened in game 1. You know, would they be motivated by it because they got so close, or would they be deflated because they got so close and weren't able to pull it out? How do you think they responded?
Well, number one, you can never recover from giving a game away. In a series against a team that has more talent than you, has better shooters than you, has a better resume than you, you can't give away 1 game. Now, JR, it seemed like he woke up a little bit as far as he at least acknowledged to his teammates that he made a mistake. I thought that was very, very important as far as before the team could move forward. But he's played like he did not only through the postseason, but the way he played through the regular season. JR has been awful. Like, so even though they did give away game number 1, JR played exactly like he's played for the last 5 months. So it's hard for me to say, yeah, they did recover. But this series, when you give away a game, I believe that was going to be fatal. Like, the only chance they had to win was build a steal game number 1. Now it's a matter of the Warriors in game number 3. Can they get one of those games? Because they're just looking to win one game in Cleveland and close them out in game 5.
And as an added bonus for Golden State, when JaVale McGee, who you insert into the starting lineup, and Sean Livingston, your first guy off the bench now that Iggy's out, when those guys take 11 shots, and they make 11 shots, and those two guys combine for 22 points, while Jeff Green, J.R. Smith, Larry Nance, Kyle Korver, Jordan Clarkson, those 5 guys combine for 16 points on double the shots, there aren't paths to victory, especially when Durant shoots 70% and Steph is a 16-point fourth quarter.
All right, we're going to talk a lot more about this, but the Warriors are now up 2 games to none over the Cleveland Cavaliers in the best of 7. Coming up was the